Ace Podcast.
This is the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode 86.
Blah, blah.
Nobody knows what that was about, but on today's show, we're going to be talking about Sony and Crossplay. We're going to have our best and worst news of the week, and of course, we're going to have our video game spotlight. What game is it this week? We also have our normal games, fan faves, gamer trivia, and name the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any aliens that are getting this broadcast, you too, to the Super Co-op Squad Video Game Podcast, episode number 86. I am your host, Johnny Mac. I'm here with my good friends, Garrett Laney.
Hello.
And Joshua Gerard.
What's up?
Not much,
Since you're talking about aliens, Ricky sent me a meme, and it was a picture of aliens gathering together. I think we know what humans look like, and they were like, "What?" It's a picture of a human with 3 arms, and they're like, "Why? How do you know he has 3 arms?" It's a picture of an N64 controller.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Cool. Well, we are the Super Co-op Squad. We love games. We love pop culture, movies, everything nerdy. Every week, we sit down to talk about the latest and greatest news, announcements, review games, just talk about what's going on in the gaming community at large, and generally have fun, guys, and hopefully you have fun with us. Before we hop into the content, though, we are going to give you the terrible spoiler of the week so we don't spoil real stuff for you. Joshua, what is your spoiler?
Yeah, so in that movie with all the traps, I think they call it Saw. The main character that consumes all the traps.
I was thinking different kind of traps. Anime, sorry. Go ahead.
The guy that creates all the traps supposedly is dead, but he played dead the whole time throughout the whole movie. He just gets up and walks away in the end. So, was he asleep? Was he faking it? Was he injected with something, or he just was knocked out?
No, it was part of the game.
I understand that, but was he pretending to be asleep, or was he actually?
No, he was pretending to be dead.
You're asking a question, or are you giving us a spoiler? Which one is it?
It's both. It's a spoiler followed by a question. I need answers.
Okay.
I guess I should watch the rest of the sequels.
If you're watching that movie for the story, I think you're doing it wrong.
Watch the other 9.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 was really good though.
I'm partial to 1, but 2 was good as well. All right, for real spoilers, though, make sure you check out our show notes, scspodcast.com.
He was in a safe.
It's not your week for a spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
By all accounts, I should bleep that out. You just stole his terrible spoiler. Make sure you go to our show notes, guys. Check what's going on there. That way you don't have anything that you really do care about spoiled. Other than that, let's get into the week. So best and worst news of the week. In this little segment, each of us details what we thought was the best and worst news of the week, and then we will vote on each to find what the true best and true worst actually were. I always forget. Are we going worst first? We're going worst first.
Yes.
Worst. We went best last time. We literally switch it every week.
Not rhymes. Worst first.
Worst first. All right, I'm good with that.
We'll remember that. My worst news of the week. A movie came out starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson called The Skyscraper.
Is that news?
It kind of is news, yeah. That he debuted a movie where he is literally kind of fighting a building. It's a force of nature that he has to survive.
It's like Fahrenheit 9/11, but worse.
What? Is that what Fahrenheit 9/11 is?
451?
451, 9/11.
Yeah, but what?
I don't know the numbers.
Joshua.
214.
Yeah, it's a very different.
I mean,
movie.
this just proves that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I for one, am never going to remove that from his name. He will always have The Rock in the middle of Dwayne and Johnson. You cannot get rid of that.
That's how it is.
As well, he tries though. None of his movies now say that. It just says Dwayne Johnson. He is trying his best to get rid of The Rock.
No, man.
Yeah,
it's embedded in his DNA.
Yeah, but not for me. He could sell any movie. They pitched him a movie in which the main villain is a building.
I bet he beats it though.
Yeah.
Probably rock bottom.
This is just getting, this is the whole Rob Schneider thing, but action stuff. Instead of Rob Schneider being the animal or Rob Schneider being, something stupid.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson fights a skyscraper.
Scales the building.
So this was my worst news of the week.
So you didn't like the movie?
I haven't watched the movie yet. I probably will watch it when it comes to Netflix.
This whole time I thought you watched the movie.
No,
so you're judging a book by its cover.
I'm just saying it's a dumb I mean, come on, like
The concept.
yeah, like Sharknado. No matter how entertaining people might actually think that enjoy it, there's been a lot of them. The concept is just ridiculous.
Yep.
So, yep.
All right. I think I got one that might be worse. So Bethesda, if we haven't heard, is suing Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers came out with a game. I forget what it's called, but it's Westworld themed, and it's a lot like Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
And the reason why Bethesda is suing WB is because they're saying that Warner Brothers stole just code from the game. They found that out by being able to redo glitches and bugs that were in Fallout Shelter. They were able to copy and redo those same bugs and glitches in this new Westworld game. But when you actually you do a little more digging, Bethesda hired another company to make Fallout Shelter. Warner Brothers hired that same company to make this Westworld game. So the reason why the game is the same is they use the same company. They use the same developer, which is the developer using that developer's code.
So can you sue the developer for making the same game to a different company?
Yeah, I think that might be better ground to stand on. Either way, Warner Brothers may not have anything to do with it, but they might. But probably not.
Yeah, which is why I think this is stupid.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right. I already know I got Johnny's vote on this one. So my worst news. It's revolved around Pokemon. So don't know if you heard, but Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, Nintendo has announced both versions will have Pokemon that you can't get in the other version.
I actually kind of like that. It reminds me of the old Pokemon days.
It reminds me that you have to buy both games in order to get all the Pokemon.
Yes.
Or have a friend, right? Like a friend could trade.
Can you trade?
I don't know. I don't know if they've announced trading yet.
Well, I mean,
that's my point.
They must have some sort of trading, because if you have to buy both copies and there's no way for you to transfer, you still can't get all of them.
Trade with yourself.
Can't catch them all.
So, yeah. All right.
Well, I understand the concept. It was cool in the beginning, but I don't think you necessarily...
It was cool back in 1993.
Like, I get it. There's the reason why you have two different games, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Yep. All right, cool. I vote for Joshua's thing. Yeah, I do. So there it is.
I vote for the skyscraper because I actually like that concept, Joshua.
Well,
the decider.
Me personally.
I'm always labeled the decider.
Because you are the decider most of the time.
Yeah, Johnny and I tend to be the opposites, the extremes.
I vote to Garrett.
All right, so I don't even remember what your thing was.
Just Bethesda.
Warner Brothers, Bethesda, Warner Brothers. Sorry, I have short-term memory loss.
And it's a tie. Everybody wins.
Was there a vote for each thing?
No.
You said you like the Pokemon, so you vote the skyscraper.
I vote skyscraper.
Yeah. So this is the second week in a row this has happened.
That's what I say. Everybody wins.
So, all right,
but nobody wins because they're all bad news.
Cool. Best news of the week. Octopath Traveler released on Nintendo Switch, classic JRPG, and picked it up, and I am really enjoying this game. It's everything a JRPG should be. It's not doing anything groundbreaking, but it's just fun. And these are the kind of games I think that Nintendo needs. They need, I don't know if this is necessarily third party or not. I think it is.
Square Enix.
Oh, it is Square Enix. Okay, perfect. So then it is third party. This is the kind of thing that they need. They need exclusives from other developers besides themselves.
Second party.
It's second party, but it doesn't matter. The point is that it's a game that was developed by someone that wasn't Nintendo, or Nintendo owned a developer that's still exclusive. Like, that's big. So, yep, that's my news.
All right. My best is Disney, ABC, and ESPN have made a deal with Blizzard to stream the Overwatch League on television. I think that's awesome. One, I love Overwatch, and two, it's getting more and more popular. It's going to get more eyes on it, bigger audience. This is good, and this is good for, I think, esports.
Yeah, I think they're picking up on the heels of doing EVO last year, and they saw the big success that EVO had on the television and the kind of the sports networks being esports. So it's smart of them to do that again with a different type of league.
Yeah, kind of get around there. You got your fighting games, you got your shooters. Maybe they'll look at some MLG stuff too. Get some Halo and Gears.
They bring
Then
back
again, Halo and Gears with Disney. I don't know. I don't think they've done any like rated M stuff.
Yeah, I was just thinking Gears could not find a platform for just standard cable networks.
Hey kids, coming up next is our Gears of War. Woo!
Yeah.
Look at all that juice.
Right?
Since we're on the subject, even though Overwatch is a shooter, just because it's not a, quote, bloody violent shooter, it makes the exception for Disney.
I think so. I think it's tame. And it's kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
I think that's the big difference.
Yep. Hold on a second. All right, cool. Joshua, what is your best news of the week?
My best news. I love when you see one thing and another thing that shows up in another thing. So my best news was Square Enix and Capcom having a partnership. So you're going to see some Final Fantasy 14 monsters in Monster Hunter World.
That's actually really cool.
So I don't play Monster Hunter World, nor do I play Final Fantasy 14. We've talked about it in the past before.
So this has nothing to do with you.
No, not particularly. It's about the news. We talked about how we have guest characters in fighting games. So I love anytime there's any crossovers of content. And, with big monsters in Final Fantasy 14, it makes sense, especially if you have summons and, things like, Bahamut, maybe being a type of monster in Monster Hunter World. So, I think it's a great thing that they're doing, and it doesn't necessarily show cross-platform, but it shows two companies coming up with some cool ideas, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see it kind of flip the other way too.
See some Capcom stuff and some Square Enix.
Yeah,
properties.
Specifically just big monsters in Monster Hunter just showing up in some type of DLC or exclusive dungeon content.
Cool. Yeah. All right, my vote, I guess, is going to be for Overwatch.
Wow.
I like Overwatch as a game, and I think that Blizzard does a really good job of just making sure they take care of that community. I do dislike the loot box stuff in that you can buy it. I mean, if it was just only you earning it, that'd be better, but that's a nitpick. So it's cool that it's just, driving their game forward and driving streaming and competitive gaming forward in a big way. So that's for me.
Nice. Joshua, I'm voting for your story. I like Capcom and Square Enix. I also like seeing companies work together. Also, Johnny, from my own standpoint, I don't see a release of something being a news article.
That's
just
news.
My tidbit. It is. But just, me, I don't count. I don't count it personally.
Yeah, I'm with
I
Garrett.
retract my vote. I'm just kidding.
All right, Joshua, you're the decider.
I'm with Garrett on that one.
Oh my god.
Because of that.
Fine.
I have yet to play it, but I do want to play it really bad, really bad, really bad.
All right, fine. Whatever.
So Garrett wins.
All right, that's a win for Garrett's best news
Win
of
for
Overwatch,
Overwatch.
and their
It's not a win for me. It's a win for Overwatch.
No, it's a win for you. So enjoy that. All right, guys. Well, that's best and worst news of the week. Hopefully you had fun with that. Give us your best and worst of the week. What did you enjoy? What did you just read and cringed or shuddered at? We'd love to know. All right, guys. It is time for fan favorites. Every week we pick 5 rapid fire questions, and each of us answers to find where we stand opposed and united in fandom. So play along. Find out just what are your fan favorites. Mr. Gerard,
That's me.
it was on you.
Yes. So, guess what, everybody? There are many.
Chicken butt.
Let's
It reminded me of Dr. Nick from Simpsons.
let's
Hey,
remove-
everybody.
It's not 5th grade anymore. Come
Sorry.
on. We're out of school, right? So there are many.
Mom's out of school.
What did you just say?
Mom's out of school.
Don't make me slap you across this table. I can reach.
Go ahead.
Garrett can't participate in this section. So there are many game franchises out there for us. Many people have never played such games, or you wish you could. So in this week's fan faves, you have a friend that's asking you which franchise you would recommend. So they kind of give you 2 games. You recommend this game, you recommend this game. So pick which franchise you would recommend to them.
Okay.
It's called the best recommendation. All right. Ready up?
Yes, sir.
Right. Number 1, would you recommend Mass Effect franchise or BioShock?
Bioshock.
Bioshock.
Mass Effect. Would you recommend Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon or Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell.
Hey, which one's Ghost Recon?
You like Advanced
Sorry,
Warfighter?
okay.
and-
Yeah, Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Would you recommend Metroid or Castlevania? It's not your turn, though.
I know.
Okay.
Just I like what you did there.
Metroid.
Ah, dude. I'm gonna go Castlevania.
Woo! Truth be told, I say Castlevania as well. Gears of War or Halo?
Gears of War.
Halo.
Gears of War. And last but not least, Konami arcade classics such as Frogger, Contra, X-Men, or Namco arcade classics like Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug.
Konami with X-Men.
Konami.
All right, let's break these down.
All right. So you guys aren't a fan of Mass Effect over Bioshock, huh?
I like Mass Effect, but when we're talking about a recommendation, I feel... I mean, I don't know. It depends on who I'm talking to. I think Mass Effect is a little more micromanaging and a lot of stuff you have to pay attention to. That's not very easy to get into for everybody. Where Bioshock, one, I like the story more, at least as far as I got Johnny. And the game is a different kind of setting. It's a different kind of atmosphere that I like.
Okay.
I think I like... I was going to say I like Bioshock better, but that's just not true. I think that Bioshock has stayed pretty close to the core of what it started as, and each story, even though Bioshock 2 was definitely, the worst out of the three, it still was a fun game and it still had an interesting story. It didn't bomb. Mass Effect, it did. I mean, Mass Effect 1 was rough around the edges, rough around the middle, just was rough, but it was a good idea. Mass Effect 2 was nearly a pitch perfect game. Mass Effect 3 had great gameplay, but they really dropped the ball in tying everything together in the story, and it left a really sour taste in everyone's mouth that it just didn't have a culmination that we expected or wanted. And knowing that, it would be difficult for me to recommend it.
But what about Andromeda? You didn't say anything about Andromeda, Johnny.
And I'm not going to.
Well said. No, Bioshock is good, but for me, the amount of customization options, the dramatic storytelling, the ability to choose your path, I feel that brings the gamer a little bit more closer to home. And I feel it's a more fun way to play a game when you actually can immerse yourself in that game. And I don't think a lot of people would play a horror type of science fiction game over an action science fiction game. So just based on my opinion on that, I choose Mass Effect.
Okay, cool. Listeners voted, as always, and, make sure you vote. You can go ahead and go to our, wherever you listen to the podcast on the summary of the details, and there will be a link there at the tip top for you to go ahead and vote for the fan favorites. So, Mass Effect won this one. Yes. 57.1% to 42.9% for Bioshock.
Still pretty close.
Johnny, would you kindly say that Bioshock won?
Damn. I can't. Next one.
Thank you kindly. All right, next one. Ghost Recon or Splinter Cell?
I just don't have much interest in Ghost Recon, to be honest.
I, as you saw, completely forgot what franchise that was.
Yeah, it's just never really been my thing. Splinter Cell is more up my alley. Yeah, that's it, honestly.
I've only played one Splinter Cell game. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to play some more. Ubisoft. You gotta make them, though.
Yeah. I mean, they've made 6 or 7. It's interesting that Splinter Cell has two different types. You have pre-360 and you have post-360.
Yeah.
With those two games. So, Ghost Recon has some good action set pieces and sequences, but it's not for everybody.
It was back on PS2, wasn't it?
Splinter Cell?
No, Ghost Recon.
They had a few of them back then, yep. And then, with GRAW, then it kind of really escalated the gameplay and
GRAW.
Kind of that next gen. Cool. What's the listeners say?
Listeners took Splinter Cell and assassinated Ghost Recon 57.1% to 42.9%.
All right. Next up. I should have said this one last. Metroid or Castlevania?
That was tough, man. I did not like that. But
you gave the right answer, though.
I really do like Metroid. It's a lot of fun, but I feel Castlevania is... It embodies what that genre is, really. It's really the kind of, just traverse a massive area. And I started on Symphony of the Night. That was my first Castlevania game. I can easily say it's the best Castlevania game. Playing that only one. I just think that is a much better game. If I'm going to recommend one, I would go in that route.
Yeah, the Metroid Prime series has the great 3D space version over the Castlevania 3D games.
Yeah.
But Metroid has some great 2D games, but Castlevania has quite a bit more, and they're all different from one another. Even if you take the original Castlevania series, it stands out, apart. And my first Castlevania game was Circle of the Moon on the GBA at launch, and then I played a couple other ones, Symphony of the Night, some of the original
Book
ones.
of Despair.
And they even the DS ones are good.
Yeah,
touch controls are kind of whack, but the quality that they do in the platforms are really good. Especially the inverted castle and Symphony of the Night. There's so much more, and I think it's just so much that someone can gravitate to as far as an adventure game.
Yeah. I've got very little to add here. Neither of these are franchises I have experience with at all, really.
For shame.
Yep. But listeners chose Castlevania and pretty much, bit Metroid and turned the series into a vampire. 57% to 43%.
Ooh, that'd be scary.
I want Simon Belmont in Smash Brothers.
That'd be cool.
That might happen.
All right, next up. Number 4, Gears of War or Halo?
Gears is just overall a better experience in regards to each game being quality, whereas Halo has some definite valleys and dips, Yeah,
it definitely dips later on, but for the first at least 3 or 4, it's a fun ride, and they're both co-op. But I mean, if I'm gonna recommend the game, I'd be like, hey, let's both play Halo. I'll play with you. I'll be the arbiter. And this is your story. You're the Spartan, and I'll tag along.
Is that your pitch to get someone to play co-op? This is your story.
This is your story.
You're the hero.
I'm your supporting character.
Gears of War has a lot of oh my god, a lot of wow, a lot of ooh moments, and it kind of ramps up every game. Like first time you run into a berserker, you're like, shit.
Yeah,
it's real. And then Gears 2 added was it the meat shields where you can grab an opponent?
The captive thing.
Yeah, and just and you have different vehicles and mortars. It's just a different experience, and I think it stands out. It's very violent, very much so. I mean, chainsawing an enemy, you couldn't do that in a game like that.
Yeah,
roadie running, crouching real low, running real fast. Can't do that in Halo. It's just
walls.
Yeah. Oh, those were good times.
All right, listeners chose Halo. They went ahead and stuck a grenade to old Gears and blew it up to 42% for Gears. And last one, Joshua.
Chucked a plasma from a mile away. Last one, Konami game, arcade games versus Namco. Now, they both had some great games, but Konami had some definite standouts. Chrono Trigger. Or not Chrono Trigger. Sorry.
I was going to
say. Contra. Where the hell did I get that? Contra being a big one. X-Men arcade game. That's a classic. Like that.
Didn't they also make the Simpsons one?
Konami?
And the TMNT one?
They did have TMNT. I don't know if they did Simpsons.
That wins in my book right there.
Yeah.
Namco has more, one player, 2 player, Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug.
The classics for sure.
And stuff. Yeah.
But Konami.
Yep. Agreed.
Konami's got Frogger,
There you go. They have X-Men and Turtles. That's it. All right, cool. Gave me my Pac-Man though. Funnily enough, Namco won 86% to 14%, and gave me the Pac-Man. That's pretty good. I can live with that. I can live with that. Cool. Well, that is fan favorites. Give us some ideas, some tips, some suggestions for next week's fan favorites. We'd love to hear from you guys and implement that into next week's episode. It's time for a core topic, guys. PlayStation 4 and crossplay. So if you've been keeping up, crossplay is becoming more and more of the norm and less of kind of a rarity. Games like Fortnite, Minecraft, Rocket League are all having crossplay with PC, Xbox, and even the Switch is now getting involved. PlayStation, though, Sony is very, very clearly lagging behind and kind of joining the rest of its competitors in allowing for crossplay to happen, and it's definitely having a huge backlash in the gaming community as far as goodwill towards Sony. So let's break this down a little bit. what's Sony thinking here? What's their thought process? If you can put yourself in their shoes, why are they so seemingly against crossplay? And I guess I should before that explain that crossplay allows for one game. Let's just pick Minecraft, for Fortnite. It's big to play with other people on different consoles. If I have an Xbox One at home and I play online, I can play with someone on Nintendo Switch or on PC, even though they're not on the same platform as me, but still engage in a match together.
Or even on their phone.
Or even on the phone, yeah, at this point. So that's what crossplay is, essentially a pretty easy concept. But yeah, back to that question. What's up with Sony?
Should we explain what they're doing first?
Well, we can go specifically into the Fortnite thing. You know, they're getting a lot of backlash because for some of these games that they don't have control over people, you know, using the same account with, for instance, with Fortnite, since they don't control Epic's ability to have the accounts go from one to the other, if an account in Fortnite is used on an Xbox One and goes to a Switch, that user can go ahead and then migrate it back to the Xbox One or to PC.
Sounds normal, right?
Right. Pretty standard stuff here. However, if you go ahead and go from Xbox or any platform onto PlayStation 4, you cannot migrate your user ID, your account, out of the PlayStation to another console. It's essentially locked in and stuck only on PlayStation, forcing people to have multiple accounts.
Yeah, your players, all your stuff, your gear and like your cosmetics, it all belongs to Sony now.
Well, I mean, it's
still yours, but you could only access it with the Sony console. And it sucks if you don't own a Sony console. You're at a friend's house. You're like, hey man, check out this. Check out what I got. You know, and you're, you know, migrating your account over to your buddy's PlayStation. Time to buy a PS4.
He knew what he was doing. He just wanted your skins.
Got him.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one really bad issue. But overall, I think just not allowing crossplay when so many other developers and consoles are doing it is a blemish. But I mean, what's their thought process here? If there's anything, is there any reason?
I mean, if I have to put myself in their shoes and try and think of something, I think they're just holding on to like an old way of thinking, an old way of like competitiveness. And no, we are not going to help players or help people play our games on another console. We don't want that. We want you to be on the PlayStation side. We want you to be on the Sony stuff. Play here. This is where it's at, guys. Stay over here.
Maybe they just want some spotlight. I don't know. Because even if you take that old way of thinking, you have to know that people are going to be upset. You have to know that you're going to get a ton of backlash for restricted players to have freedom of movement. And not only that, like for people that don't have a system, is that their way of like now you have to buy a system? Is that the whole end game? I'm not sure. I think they just need a little bit more attention, and they're like, hey, let's just find a way to get the spotlight on us, and then we'll apologize, we'll give out a free game, and then people will play our console.
An interesting thought there. I don't know. I can't really see a reason, because you're right. The bad will that they're gonna get from this reminds me of back in 2014 when Microsoft talked about all the digital rights management on their upcoming Xbox One console and not being able to use pre-owned games or things of that nature. And it was just terribly bad PR for them. And this seems very close to that. The only thing I can think of, and this is just me trying to extrapolate and think out of the box, is Sony has had a history of terribly bad hacks. Accounts getting hacked, their servers getting hacked, people's information being stolen. And that's just on their secure network. If someone is allowed to migrate information or an account over to, from Xbox or PC, specifically, I guess PC for sure, or Switch, onto their PS4, network, their PlayStation network, what sort of potential threats may pop up from that they just could not be prepared for? Because it's proven, not once, not twice, multiple times that they're susceptible to these sort of attacks.
You know what would be a great thing? Admitting that. and telling people this is why we don't want to do crossplay, is because we've had a bad history with accounts and hacks and everything. They have no problem being upfront and saying when it does happen, like, hey guys, there's been some issues or some serious issues. You may want to have a look at your account, change your password, that kind of thing. It's not like they're keeping it under wraps, not letting people know that there was an attack or anything like that. So why, if hypothetically, if this is the situation, I honestly think a lot of people would forgive you and kind of be a little more understanding, at least, of why you have this stance on crossplay.
I see your point in that it would give people the understanding, but I think it would have a very negative impact on them. You're right. When they do have those issues pop up where they have a massive amount of hacks or accounts, information gets stolen, or the PlayStation Network goes down because they're getting a bunch of DDoS attacks or whatever. You're right. They're very quick to admit that something happened, something occurred, and not hide it. That's very different than saying, like, you know what, we're so afraid of it happening that we can't collaborate. Like, we have so little trust in our network that we won't even attempt to work with someone. That means that you don't have any faith that you can prevent those attacks.
And I understand that. I just think it's a lot better to show that you are being proactive than reactive.
So, I mean, what would happen if they said that, you know what, we're very opening ourselves to a very strong possibility of getting hacked or having issues? If I'm listening to that, and that you don't even trust your product enough to do what everyone else is doing, I'm going to go buy a different console. Like, you hypothetically are so afraid of what your console's like open to like having as an issue that you can't do what all the others are doing. I think you're right that it would give people peace of mind who already have a PS4 that, okay, I'm already in the game, I got skin in it, like, we'll get there. But for new people, I would not buy a PS4.
Yeah.
You're shooting yourself in the foot and you're walking the sail.
You know what's a funny thing? It's funny how time and events work. You mentioned when the Xbox first came out, or Xbox One, and they announced the DRM, and everyone's just stomping Microsoft and mad at them, and you have Sony on the other side like, hey, how do you share games with friends? They're teasing Microsoft in a kind of way, and now it's completely like flipped around in a different situation where it's like Microsoft can basically make a commercial going, hey man, you want to play with me in this game? Oh, I don't have that system. Do you have blank or blank?
Yeah, they did something pretty funny, actually, very similar to that. The Xbox UK Twitter account, they sent a tweet and they linked it to the @Nintendo UK account. They said, "Hey, you guys, you want to play Fortnite?"
Was it Fortnite or Minecraft?
It was Fortnite. Hey, you guys want to play some Fortnite? Like a direct shot at Sony not being able to get in on the game.
Throwing shade.
Yeah, throwing crazy shade.
Microsoft did that for Nintendo with Minecraft. Like, hey, want to play a game? They're like, yeah, sure. You want to get in? Yeah, we should play. Who else wants to play? And like, what about you, Sony? Nope.
Yeah, like there you go. Just it's funny how in one situation, it's almost like if you fast forward, it's almost like if you were back then and you fast forward to the time now, you would think you did some dimension hop or something like that. Where now it's like Microsoft are the quote unquote good guys and Sony's the bad guys.
It's like, oh, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah. So crossplay coming. It's new, obviously, but it's coming quickly to a lot of games now. More and more and more. I mean, if let's say Sony just does, but let's say we don't know the reason they're just against it. How big of an impact will it have on them as it stands right now with us not knowing why they're doing it? But how big of an impact would it have with them not jumping into crossplay?
I don't think it'll make that big of an impact. I think it'll only impact whatever game is made for. So if you look at Street Fighter, for example, Street Fighter 5 has crossplay with PC and PS4. Not Xbox, because Microsoft decided to opt out of that. But that didn't necessarily hurt the sales of the game. Just people that didn't have the console are missing out. So if Sony says, you know what, you can't cross-play with Fortnite, they're just going to say, okay, we'll just play it on another console. We're just not going to buy it for PS4. And I don't think that's going to hinder any future sales for any other games coming out. If you're going to play Last of Us 2 or God of War, you're still going to play the game. Just whether it's cross-play or not, it's just going to make you buy it on another console. And most people will probably have multiple consoles anyway.
I don't know. It's a lot going on here. I think it hurts them pretty negatively in the long run. I don't think it would happen in a year or two. I think crossplay is really not important enough in the gaming community to matter right now. It's more of this is a cool feature, but like there's only a handful of games that really use it, so it doesn't matter. But in 2 or 3 years, when it's like, hey, let's play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 19 or whatever they're on, 8. And it's just a bygone. Like I don't have to think, okay, well, Garrett's getting it on PS4. I got to make sure Garrett's getting on Xbox One. I got to make sure Joshua gets it on Xbox One, and I do too, so we can all play together. It's just I walk in and get whatever console I damn well please, but not PS4 because I want to play with all my buddies. Then it's not a question of what do I play it on, but what do I not play it on.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's hard for me to kind of, I guess, rationalize this because for me personally, crossplay doesn't really matter. I don't really care that much. Joshua, as you pointed out, a lot of people tend to have just all the system, or more than one system. That we pretty much all fit into that category. If Sony stays opt out of cross platforming, I mean, honestly, I only play my Sony console for the exclusives.
Yeah, well, one counterpoint I do want to make in regards to everyone owning the systems. It's a little skewed there. So within our hardcore community of gamers, and podcasters that we know and streamers that we know, most of them own every console, every device. But most people, most casual gamers, most families, they just got one. They pick one. They got a PS4 or an Xbox or whatever. They don't have all of it. So if you're looking at that, where probably I'd say more than 70% of the people buying consoles are casual, where they just got one of them, and only 30% are those hardcore guys or girls like you and I and Joshua. That's a lot of people that they could potentially be pushing the other way.
That's a very good point.
Play it on your mobile device.
Yeah, that's still not Sony though. Like they're still losing a piece of that pie.
Yeah.
So last question. Will crossplay become the norm? Will this be in a year or two, or, how long do you think it will be? And if you think it will be the norm, how long will it be?
I do think it'll become a norm, but I'm thinking much later. I'm thinking I'm going to give some cushion. Within 10 years, crossplay is going to be the norm.
Yeah.
Kind of like how co-op was or multiplayer was. I think the next kind of revolutionary multiplayer aspect or what have you is crossplay.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening for another 5 years because what you have to look at is, are the systems like built to do it? Yes, of course. But are the developers putting in the time to work the code so that way you can actually play with other consoles and make sure all the servers are up to date so they're actually going to be playing at the same time. There's not going to be any distance and lag, and they got to figure all that out. And then you also have to look at, I think who the player that's going to start it first is PC. I really think and hope that Steam is going to be available on a console. Like, especially, we talked about it before. If Steam comes to Microsoft, then that's going to open the floodgates to have Xbox players play majority of those titles with PC gamers. I mean, they already have Windows 10 Play, where you're now playing Microsoft titles with PC and Xbox. So crossplay is there from console to PC, but once it bridges a little bit closer from console to console on the mainstream level, then I think it'll do it. But I don't think it'll be anywhere in the next until 5 years have passed. Just
real quick, you had mentioned, the developers taking the time and resources to kind of keep, or the coding to keep, crossplay going. I see that as a great opportunity for the developers. Like, oh, Microsoft, you want this game to be platform? Okay, we're going to need a little more, kind of funds or what have you. I see it as a potentially good thing for the developers.
Well, they'd only get money from Microsoft or Sony if it's an exclusive title. Like, that's typically.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you want this game to have access to crossplay, we need the resources or the funds. So Microsoft do that, and then Nintendo, you also want some? Okay, Nintendo, we're going to need some too.
What if one of them plays hardball? Sony's playing hardball. They're like, we don't care.
Then at that point, I think that's the developer's choice, choosing. Let's, okay, well, we tried to, but, Sony, again, didn't want to play ball. They took their ball and went home.
I think, I see what you're saying. It's a possibility if let's say it's a system sell. Like, let's say Call of Duty continues to, let's say Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto's, 6, when that game drops, we know that's going to be a system. People are going to buy that game. And if it's a game like that, then yeah, sure. I think Microsoft or Sony will put out time, effort, resources, maybe even finances to make sure that the game is compatible with their with Rockstar's kind of cross-play
servers.
Yeah, because that's what they don't want to be the odd man out. But for regular games, I can't see Microsoft divvying up because it's more, I think crossplay is actually more of a benefit if everyone's involved. It's more of a benefit for the game or the developer than it is for Microsoft or Sony, as long as Sony or Microsoft is in it. Again, let's say, we're all going to buy a game and, it's not crossplay, right? But you guys are getting it on Xbox One and I'm not. I'm getting it on whatever console, mobile. But because I don't have buds to play with, I go, nah, I don't need to get it. Like, I don't have anybody to play with. So I don't buy the game. But in a crossplay world, that question never happens. It's just, do I want to play this game with my buds? Yes. Get the game. Yeah. I don't have to go, but Garrett already got Garrett got Overwatch on PS4 and I just want to play with Garrett only. I don't really care to play by myself, really.
Yeah, those times are almost past.
Yeah. So once that happens, that really benefits developers. It doesn't really, it does marginally benefit the consoles just because there will never be a point where someone doesn't get the game or is forced to get it somewhere, a different console to play with friends. But it maximizes sales for the developer for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, thoughts on crossplay before we move on?
It needs to happen more often. We only have it in 3 active games right now, really?
Yeah, I think crossplay is a great thing to unite all of the consoles. The only thing is different controllers and setups to
mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, to play the game are just superior. There's no question that playing with a PS4 controller or Xbox One is not greater than, like you said, mouse and keyboard. And PS4 and Xbox One, let's just be honest, are better options than playing with the Joy-Cons. Like Call of Duty or something. Like the Joy-Cons are just not going to be the best way to play Call of Duty.
That's why you spend $80 on a Pro controller.
Boom.
For me personally, crossplay doesn't interest me that much. I do think it's a good thing for the community, and I hope it takes off and does well. Just not my cup of tea.
Okay, last question.
Last
question, yeah. Thoughts on Sony and just your general...
Fuck them.
Yeah. You heard it from Garrett.
Yeah, what he said.
This is a scumbag move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty dicky.
And just to be clear, because, I don't want people going up to Epic Games about this Fortnite thing. It's completely out of Epic Games' hands. This is all Sony saying, making this choice and everything. So even Epic has to go, look, guys, it's a problem. You'll have to contact Sony about it.
Yep, very true. All right, guys, let us know what you thought about this little take on Sony and crossplay, Fortnite, and the issues going on there. Should crossplay be a thing? Is it important to the gaming community, or is it just kind of a fad that doesn't really matter? Let us know. Contact us by email, contact@scspodcast.net, or on Twitter @SuperCoopSquad, or of course on Facebook, facebook.com/SuperCoopSquad. It's time for gamer trivia. Every week, 2 of us go head to head in a best of 3 trivia contest. The winner stays plays again, bragging rights, good feelings, good vibes. The loser, they make next week's trivia. They got homework, things to do outside of what they want, and generally just have to do something they don't want to do, which sucks.
Slaving for homework.
Yep. So play along and find out how much knowledge you have in our gamer trivia. It is not my week.
It's mine.
It's Josh's week.
So, let's see how much knowledge you have about a particular character.
Croc.
No, not that type of character. He's a unique individual. Very twisty one.
Sly Cooper.
No, not Sly Cooper. He's got a
Wario?
unique voice. Not the Wario.
Yeah,
It's the Waluigi. That was terrible. My voice cracked out.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty bad.
It was a little rough, yeah.
Luigi.
It happened.
Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Some Waluigi trivia.
Cool. What you got, man?
Interesting.
Yeah, there's not much info on him. So here we go. Question number 1. We ready, Johnny Mac?
I'm ready. Go
All
ahead.
right. Question number 1. What is Waluigi's job title? Is it A, he's a janitor? B, he's a ticket taker? C, he's a restaurant usher? Or D, it is never mentioned? I have Garrett's answer. I have Johnny Mac's answer. Garrett, you said A, Waluigi is a janitor.
Maybe.
He might be a janitor.
Custodian.
Custodian? Okay, we'll mix it up. Johnny, you said D. It is never mentioned. We don't know. He probably doesn't have a job.
He's a pretty lazy, low-life layabout, so...
Why? He's into like all the sports.
Very athletic.
Very. The correct answer is D. I could not find anything mentioned about any job, any title, anything he does other than play sports and try to mess with Luigi.
See, I didn't want to pick D because that was a blanket thing. Like, oh, it's just never mentioned. We don't know. But I felt like it might have been mentioned somewhere.
Well, if you find it, let me know. All right.
Do I get a point?
No, you don't. So that's 1 point for Johnny. And no points for Garrett. All right, question number 2. What does Waluigi's name mean in Japanese? Where did it derive from? A, it means reverse Luigi. B, mean Luigi. C, bad Luigi. D, ugly Luigi. I have Johnny's answer. I have Garrett's answer. Garrett, you said Waluigi means D, ugly Luigi. You think Waluigi's ugly?
I mean, he's not the best looking guy.
Do fish swim?
Yes.
Does Halo make way too many sequels?
No, not at all.
Has Call of Duty gone on too long?
Never. Are video games still a thing?
Does no one over the age of 13 understand Minecraft?
Has the internet figured out that everyone is over the age of 18?
Right.
Feel old yet?
Johnny, you said B. It means mean Luigi. The correct answer is C. It means bad Luigi.
Dang.
That's what I meant to put.
Yeah, you missed your chance. So it's incorrect for Johnny.
All right.
Incorrect for Garrett. I don't have any fun facts. Just
Wow, pulling the Johnny.
yeah. Well, there's not.
We're not gonna name
There's
it.
not
that.
a lot of information on Waluigi.
I'm sure you could have found
I
something.
could have found one, but then it might
His
have.
first game was...
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Question number 3. Which of these games did Waluigi not appear in? A, Super Smash Bros. Melee. B, Fortune Street. C, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. D, Mario Party 2.
Answers one more again.
A, Super Smash Bros. Melee. B, Fortune Street. C, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. D, Mario Party 2. Gentlemen, you both said D, Mario Party 2. The correct answer is D, Mario Party 2.
On the board.
I almost put Mario Party 1, but I was like, nah, it's too easy.
Is it?
I mean,
maybe.
It's all a guess to me.
anything that early was, for me, going to be a red flag.
All right, so correct answer for Johnny Mac. Correct answer for Gary Laney. You remember what Fortune Street is?
No idea.
It's
I do.
the
Oh. It's like a Monopoly thing, right?
yeah, it's the Nintendo version of Monopoly.
I said I do, and he said no, and he got to answer it.
Because he was the one that didn't. He shrugged and okay. So the score is
2
2-1.
to 1.
Okay, so it's time for the salty sudden death. You gentlemen know how it works. You place your bets. If you get the answer right, you gain that many points. If you get the answer wrong, you lose that many points. If you get the question right, you will get a bonus 2 points. I have Johnny. Oh, no, I don't have Johnny's bet. I have Garrett's bet. Garrett has 1 point. Will he bet his 1 point? Johnny has 2 points. How many will he bet? I have Johnny's bet. The question. Garrett alluded to it earlier. What is the first game that Waluigi appeared in?
All right. So what was the fun fact?
I didn't make a fun fact because
I know. I was.
they were kind of leaked towards any of these. So
Give the answer.
yeah,
Do I have to be specific?
I need the game, and you don't have to tell me the console unless it's very specific.
So can I just give you general title?
No, you need to give me the game. You can't just say Mario Party if you're thinking it's Mario Party 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. What was the first game that Waluigi appeared in?
Can we each get 2 guesses?
Nope. You get 1 guess.
Because it's between 2 games.
Well, feel free to keep the backup in the back of your mind. I have Johnny's answer.
Crappity crap. I'm so sure this is wrong.
Shot in the dark.
My
man.
only hope is that means
you
Garrett
the same
got
thing,
it.
Huh?
Either we got the same thing or Garrett got it right.
I have Garrett's bet. Johnny Mac,
So you won.
you said the first game is a Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mario Colt.
Ooh, basically.
Garrett, you said Wario Land.
It's Wario Land, huh?
It is not Wario Land.
Oh, wow.
Nor is it Mario Kart Double Dash. I don't know when Wario Land
I don't
came
either.
out.
I don't know shit
You-
about
it's-
Waluigi, man.
It's a little bit farther back. We're talking before GameCube. We're going N64.
I went
Super
Game Boy.
Mario Kart.
I know you went Game Boy Advance. Well, it's in the middle of all this. Not Mario Kart. He didn't come out in Mario Kart 64.
Okay, well, are we guessing again? Or are you giving the answer?
He played in another sports title.
Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis.
That was my second choice. Dang it.
Mario Tennis was the correct answer.
You did. Okay, is he getting points?
No, he's not getting no
okay.
points.
That's why. Okay.
No, I was trying
Dang
to
it.
get you guys to try to remember a little bit more.
I should have not doubted myself. Oh man, that'd have been great.
Mario Tennis was the first game. For the points, Garrett, you had 1 point. You bet 1 point.
Oh god.
Puts you at 0. Johnny had 2 points. He did bet 1 point. So I brought him down to 1 point. So Johnny Mac, you are this week's winner of Waluigi Trivia.
Waluigi, number one.
I did it. Yay. I don't feel good about it. but I
Why?
did it.
Because
Because I barely did it.
it's bad Luigi Trivia.
Yeah. Luigi's so cool. What?
Waluigi has his moments.
He has no moments
He's pretty good in the sports games.
because he's tall and lanky. It's almost like cheating.
Huh.
Okay. And Luigi is not tall and kind of lanky.
Not like him. Waluigi's like a freak of nature. He's like what would have happened if you could have taken Mario in the beginning of Super Mario 64 when you like stretch out his face, but you do it to his whole body. That's him. That's him. All right. Well, that's gamer trivia. Garrett, you got duties next week.
That's fine.
Joshua, I will see you in competition.
Mm-hmm.
And you out there, hopefully you did better than we did. All right. Still learning this new format here. It's time for the video game spotlight. So
just like that every time.
spotlight. Every week we take a look back at one game. Could be classic, could be a new release, could be a fan favorite, could be maybe a cult classic. And
Mario Cult classic.
Super Mario Cult. Oh man.
Now he's been everywhere.
Yeah. Ancient one. And we'll discuss that game, guys. We'll break it down. We'll go over what it was, what it is, what it meant to us, if anything, and where the series, if it still can, where it goes from here.
If the series is still alive.
Right? So the game that was chosen this week was Super Mario 64, which of course debuted on the Nintendo 64. That was way back. What
99?
What year was that?
99 sounds about right.
It was 1996
Damn.
when that game released.
Yeah. Ocarina of Time came out in 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, this was developed and published by Nintendo with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah, Shiggy.
As the main
You can't call him
director.
that.
Yeah, please don't ever
We
call
already
him
said
that again.
We already said that.
I'm gonna call him that every time.
I'm gonna bleep it out every time, so no one knows what you're talking about.
I was gonna think I'm swearing.
Yeah,
He's
so
like,
you better stop. Oh yeah, it does. Every time we say his name, and then Garrett says, "Yeah, bleep." Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out so
Yeah,
no one knows.
when you call him Shiggy, he thinks you're cursing at him.
No. Well, Shiggy, you.
So yeah, I mean this was a Nintendo 64 game that I think I don't want to say revolutionized Mario because he was already a huge deal with, a minimum of 4 platformers, as well as Super Mario RPGs, Mario Kart racing games. But it took him in a different direction where it was no longer a side-scrolling platformer, and it was now a more open environment 3D platformer. Thoughts on this game? What were your experiences with it? Let's start there.
You said it didn't necessarily revolutionize Mario. It kind of did. And what it also did was it revolutionized 3D gaming and specifically 3D platforming. Because if you look at, games that were in the PlayStation 1 that eventually bled into the PlayStation 2, there was no game like Super Mario 64. There was no platforming game that when you played it, it just felt right. It just clicked. From the tight jumps to running around in a 3D space to the boss fights, it just all felt very overwhelming at first because you were just floored by how it worked and how it pieced it together. And then you add in elements like being able to turn invisible, Metal Mario, the wing cap, when you added a little bit more physics to it, and then swimming underwater. It was just such an immersive experience. I remember playing it and trying to play it in Toys R Us and Target, but every analog stick was broken. So Mario was just running himself into a wall.
Demo units.
Yeah, kids. And it was just such a different experience that you only heard about it from your friends, and you never saw it until you actually got in your hands for the first time.
For me, I agree with a lot of what Joshua said. That game did revolutionize. I don't even think just Mario. I think it revolutionized gaming with the movement controls, the movement options, just being able to see a cliff and like, oh man, I need to get up there. Instead of going around and trying to find a path that, up a hill or anything, just wall jump, do backflip into a wall jump and then dive. The movement options were a game themselves. And I think it was a lot of fun doing that. My first experience with it was actually in, Denmark. I didn't own a Nintendo 64 at the time. And my stepbrother, we took turns just playing in the living room. And we did that thing where it's like, okay, I'll play until I die, and you play till you die. And whenever any of us were close to dying, we would just look for some water. You dive underwater, give it a second, and then resurface. You get all your health back because air is also your life in that game. So it seems like we cheated the system.
Seems like you guys should have added some addendums and articles to that rule set there.
No, it wasn't in the rules. No, that was not against the rules.
No legislation could have been added.
It was too late. No, filibuster. So that game was just a lot of fun. And what I also really liked about it, not to get too much into it just now, just is that to get different stars, it set up that level differently. It was like different scenarios almost, and I think that opened up a lot in itself.
I never owned a 64 ever, so my ability to play the game was pretty limited. Going over people's houses or different things like that, maybe at a store. But I always was able to recognize that it did one thing pretty well. I think that was give Mario a lot of personality that you really don't see in the traditional platformers when he's side-scrolling. You see a bit of it pop up in Super Mario World, Super Mario RPG a little bit, but even then it's not the same as the kind of richer environment that's showcased with Super Mario 64. The music, his noises, his jumps, his movement. That game solidified what Mario was for the next 20 years. Like what they did there is what he is now still.
Exactly. I mean, there's still that classic triple jump, that's going to be in every 3D Mario game ever.
Right. It's just him now. So, like you guys are very, very adamant that this revolutionized Mario and platformers. I mean, let's get into the game itself a little bit. Like, what really stood out for you? Like, what was that nitty gritty just going into the game that sold you on it?
Peach making a cake for Mario. That's what did it for me.
Writing a letter.
Love that. Peach.
Mario's like, I'm gonna give me some cake.
She's gonna get some cake.
Yeah.
One thing I really liked about it is that right off the bat, right at the beginning of the game, Mario comes out that pipe, and it gives you a reason for your camera. It gives you the reason why you can move angles, why you can back up, why you can go in. There's a Lakitu following him around, almost like reporting his adventure kind of thing. I love that kind of just nonsensical reason I guess nonsensical reason. It's a very reasonable reason to just explain your camera. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, and you talk about just jumping out of that pipe. What they did in the beginning of the game was they gave you open space to just play around. It was just a mini playground.
Get used to the game.
Get used to the controls. It's new controls. You had a weird N64 controller layout.
And only 2 hands.
Yeah, and a Z button, and then you have the C buttons on the side. You're like, how do I manage this? So it lets you play around. You can jump on some trees, play in the moat. You know, nothing going on in the moat. If you figure it out later, you can actually go to the rooftop by figuring that out. But what the game did was it completely changed how you interacted with worlds. You go into the castle. And you see, okay, there's a door. I can't go into the door.
Big 5 on it. Yeah.
And then, Bowser like laughing at you in the background. And then you have a blank star, and you're like, okay, I see some paintings. That's kind of cool. You go up against the wall, and it moves. That's kind of weird. And you jump into painting. It's just like, ba 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 da ba. And then it shows you a star. And then now you're plopped into this ginormous world. And as you progress through the game, that was different. Like, let me jump into a painting to go into this other realm. And you didn't have this type of architect. And it was just a fun experience because you're like, oh, where's the next painting? And then they had some hidden ones too. And you just didn't know what to expect throughout that entire game.
There was a lot to it. Like I mentioned, the different scenarios. One instant when you're trying to get a star, you need to race a Koopa to the top of the mountain. In any other game, you would think a Koopa's a bad guy. Jump on him, kill him, smash a shell.
But he's giant.
He's giant. You could jump on him and he goes in his shell. Then you can surf on the shell. That was new. That was different. That was just in what Mario game was that possible before?
Right.
Absolutely none. And just for them to think of that, and now you can just slide up that hill that you tried to run up. You tried and failed multiple times. And now you can just ride up that to all the just hidden secrets. The first time you're in the middle of that castle, right in that foyer, the beginning area, and you stand in that sun painting and you look up, you get transported to a secret world that will not only help you in further levels in the game, but it gives you a whole new kind of option to fly. You can fly now in this game just because you looked up.
And it was a secret because in the beginning, the sunlight's not there. And then after you get, I think it's 8 or 9 stars, then it actually shows a sunbeam going down. And then you look up and it's just like, here we go. So, it was just very dynamic. And, things from like, little, pink bomb-bombs opening up cannons for you.
They're your friends.
Yeah. You don't figure that out. And then you have blue coins, capturing 100 coins to get a hidden star.
Yeah, I never knew about that until I started watching speedruns. Speedruns for that? Yeah, never knew.
Oh my goodness.
Speedruns for that game are so fun to watch.
Yes. Hidden cameras or hidden castle slide. Figuring out that you jump in a stained glass painting and then you got this slide that you just don't know what to do. Then you race a penguin and then you're so mad at losing that you drop the baby penguin off the cliff.
Yep, everyone. Everyone. You're lying if you say you didn't do that. You threw that baby. You threw that penguin off the cliff.
Every world was different from one another. It was just so good.
Nice. So you also talked a little bit about this game being kind of the precursor to a plethora of other 3D open world platforming type games. I mean, the sky's the limit on that kind of stuff with Spyro, with Banjo-Kazooie, even Donkey Kong, what was it? Donkey Kong 64. Just a ton of games came after it. Kirby had one. So, what did Mario kind of open up for these games? As far as how did it kind of pave the way for all these games to come after it?
What it did is not only in most 3D platforming games, you go, okay, there's a platform, I need to jump up to it, or I need to go around and I need to get from point A to point B. What Super Mario 64 did is it changed the way that you look at a level. It changed the way you look at a map, or a stage or anything. It's not just, let me jump on this platform, that's an elevator, and ride it up to the top or whatever. It's, let me climb on this tree, jump off of it, hit the wall jump over to another platform, and then do a running sprint long jump over to it. changed the way that you would look at an obstacle course, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think you're 100% right. And I think it opened up how level design works and what you can put in a level. In a 2D platformer, there's only so much you can hide either above or below, or for a secret entrance or exit. There's just not that much. You're limited to the 2D panels and how high or low your character can get.
Oh, damn, I fell off this cliff. Oh, it was a bonus barrel.
Yeah, or I jump off this Goomba, then jump off this, like, flying Koopa, and then there's a star I can get. Like, that's about it, But with a 3D game like Mario, they can hide things all over the place. Just, you've got to literally search like it's life. Almost. So I think, obviously a lot of games took cues from that because it changed what you could put in a game.
Yeah, and I think what they did really well is use the amount of 3D in the 3D space. So if you look at, was it Dry Desert, I think it was called, and you take Mario that's trying to go across the quicksand, and you have these big cubes.
Jumping boxes, yeah.
Well, not
no, okay.
They were like the big cubes that were going over the tiles.
Yeah,
and then there was one side that had an open square that Mario could fit in if it were to roll over you. So just using that amount of 3D space where, okay, I have to wait for that to land in this particular spot so Mario will not get damaged because of the opening. Just being able to do that, to be able to look around, to see different areas, to find hidden secrets, that was new. And just certain things in the game that you just couldn't do before. Just things like thwomps. Thwomps being able to come down and damage you and then come back up. Bullet bills had a different trajectory in 3D space than just going left and right. Some of them even followed you.
Yeah.
Just the maneuvering mechanics to wall jumping to get to greater heights. Even as far as the Bowser fights, you had to turn the thumbstick in a 360-degree radius to literally spin Bowser in a 360-degree radius to time it right to throw him and so long, Big Ugly, and miss it completely 20 times for him to just make the platform shorter at the end of the game.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to stand next to this bomb, and then when you come over, when I just swing you barely, you're just going to make contact with it. I beat you.
Who is in the background screaming, "Wah!" every time you grab Bowser? Like, Mario's not saying it. Bowser's not screaming in pain.
It's Luigi watching from the stands.
the lackitude.
Yeah,
Oh,
even the fifth level, you see Boo's in the courtyard and you find a Boo that you damage and all of a sudden it opens up a cage and then you shrink small and you go into the cage. So there's just so much that hadn't been done before that, to answer your question before, paved the way for other developers or even Nintendo to think, how can we develop this type of game? How can we create open space? How can we have new ideas that we didn't have before? And I think that's the big thing.
Yeah. Where does Mario go from here? I mean, at this point, it feels like Mario's done everything. I mean, there's tons of games that have come out afterwards, of course. The sports games, I mean, more so with the platforming roots, more in line with what the traditional Mario is. And we've had tons of side-scrolling platforms. We'd have kind of 2.5 platformers, with what game was it on the Wii U? Super Mario, not new. I cannot think of the name of the game, but there was a 2.5 where it kind of went from a 2D game to a 3D kind of back and forth.
The Paper Mario one?
No, not Paper Mario. It was a platformer.
Super Mario Odyssey?
No. Super Mario, what's it, 3D Land?
Super Mario 3D Land. I think that is correct. Or 3D World.
Oh, 3D World.
3D World.
With the cat suits?
Yeah, with the cat suits. They've done that. And then, of course, they had Super Mario Maker where you could pretty much design any type of 2D platforming level you want that looked like either the original Mario or Super Mario Brothers New or Super Mario World, essentially. And, of course, then they have the very well-received Super Mario Odyssey. What is next for Mario?
You can actually see him do some plumbing.
They've I don't think they've ever had a problem with what to do next with Mario. We've gone from, and I'm just talking the 3D games. We've gone from Super Mario 64. We went to, Super Mario Galaxy where they added all those kind of, though it's not my favorite Mario game. It added its own new mechanics and new things to do. And we just had Super Mario Odyssey, which even expanded further on that, where you can, just twirl around and lift yourself up and then, use a hat to get to even higher places and further places. I think they will continue to find new innovative ways to do it. Me, I don't work for Nintendo. I'm not Shiggy, so I can't say what's going to be next for Mario, but I can guarantee you it's going to be another expansive adventure.
Should be like a button we push and Garrett's like whole floor just disappears underneath him every time
he's losing points.
They can. I'll piggyback off of what Garrett was saying. There's so much more that they can do. I mean, just in the newest game, they just had a mechanic with a hat, and they just created a new world and a new way to get to different lands, and it made sense. You're, in an Odyssey, you're on an adventure to travel the world, and and at the end of the game, Peach essentially takes up that mantle. Is like, you know what? I'm gonna go travel. So it all kind of fit into that same space. What I really would like to see is them to do something new in the 2D space. I want a classic 2D game. I don't want new Super Mario Brothers style. I want something different. Give me a 2D Mario that's like the original Super Mario Brothers, like they did in Mario Odyssey. Just do like that and just make a whole bunch of weird stuff in the original 8-bit Mario. I'd be okay with that, but I'm sure there's so much more that they can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Garrett's previous statement that they don't have a problem creating new stuff for him. And I think that's a two-part reason. First part is they truly understand the character. They understand exactly what he is, what he isn't, the realm that they can put him in. And they are also unafraid to put him in new environments with new things. Like you've mentioned the hat, both of you guys did. They've had, I don't know how many different suits, cat suits, penguin suits, frog suits,
new powers,
wings. He's got propellers that he can put on his head, ice powers. In Odyssey, he could literally body snatch people. Like they are not afraid to push the boundaries of what they can do with a platformer. So the sky's the limit because of that. They're not going to hold him to traditional things. Like, I mean, I love Crash Bandicoot, but he's very limited in scope as to what they have allowed or disallowed him to do.
Spin and jump.
Yeah. And they really won't go too far outside of that. I mean, the same, sadly enough, could be said for Ratchet and Clank, which I love the series, but it's true. Same can be said for Sly Cooper.
No, same cannot be said for Sly Cooper. He literally gets a new move in every, and it's a new like mechanic.
You jumped every on that level. Jumped on that one pretty quick. And
yeah, I'm quick to defend Sly.
The game is pretty much the same every single time, though. It's not about the powers he's getting. It's not just that. The game doesn't really change, and one could argue that Mario's games change.
I mean, you can finally play as Bentley.
Yeah, you're getting hitting your real personal side here.
Yeah, it's got some stuff.
Same thing with just tons of platformers. So I think those are the two-part reasons why they can continue to move forward with Mario. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is our spotlight on Super Mario 64. What were your experiences with the game? Did you enjoy it? Did you pass on it? What was your favorite Mario game? Let us know those thoughts and hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. All right, guys. It is time for the speed run. Every week, we break down 7 news stories and fun facts that just didn't quite make the list for a full segment. We give ourselves 1 minute per topic before we move on to the next one, finished or not. Gotta go fast.
It'll always be 7.
In the speed run. Nova from the Marvel Comics is rumored to be getting its own movie. I think this is a big rumor. I don't see this happening anytime soon, but I'd like it to.
No, I definitely see it happening. They've already established that the Nova Corps is in the MCU.
They have.
There's no reason not to give them a movie.
Yeah, and we all know what happened in was it Xandar? What's that? Where are they from?
Well, we technically don't know what happened.
I mean,
Xandar.
we know that Thanos came and took the power.
We know it's no longer Xandar.
Xandar, there you go.
Well, it's still Xandar.
No, it's pieces.
It's still a planet. He didn't destroy the planet.
He didn't destroy the planet?
No.
So I'm
even
no, it was a city.
Even if he did, those pieces are still Xandar. Yeah. If I smash your iPhone
Asgard
right now,
is not a place; it's a people.
I mean that whatever floats your boat there, Thor.
We've only seen really a TV adaptation with him in the Avengers, and was he in Spider-Man?
Well, you've only seen that. He has a long comic history.
I'm talking about TV iteration or movie iteration.
Spider-Man,
yeah, I think
and Friends.
Yeah, one of those Spider-Man shows. I'd like to see him in an actual action film.
I would like to know more about the character because I don't read his comics.
He's pretty much Green Lantern.
Yeah, but he's not.
He is. He's a space cop. That's all you need to know.
But does he have a power ring?
He has blasters. He can fly. He can destroy stuff.
This is a long minute.
It's a Nova Force.
Let me see. Hold on. Yep, you still got like 10 seconds.
Oh wow. Oh, Nova's getting a lot. I
Cool.
feel like there's been a lot of times we actually had stuff to say about things. Next! 2 more Blockbuster stores close, now leaving only one left in existence. And from what I hear, Russell Crowe's jockstrap's not going to help.
What?
Yeah, that was the whole thing in Alaska to try and help keep a Blockbuster, generate some money for it. Russell Crowe donated a jockstrap from a movie, I forget which movie, that some guy bought. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
No,
Just give them money, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
no, he'll sell them his jockstrap.
Why don't you just buy Blockbuster? That'll help.
It's probably like $20. We could probably buy Blockbuster.
In Alaska. I think the last one that says in like Oregon or something.
That sucks.
I think the last one's in Alaska.
Oh, there's 3 of them, and there 2 of them are
Well,
going
now
to
there's
bye-bye.
one.
Yeah. Bye-bye Blockbuster. You had your time.
I was sadder for Jeffrey the giraffe.
Yeah. Our 90s selves are crying right now.
Inside. Next.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has dominated the global box office in its first few weeks, adding itself to the $1 billion mark. Well, Johnny, you had me here. I told you it wasn't going to do that well. It did supremely well.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I was looking at the numbers. It doubled the sales over domestic sales. Like global sales are double domestic.
Yeah, that means it's getting big worldwide.
Yes.
I really wish though they would tell us ticket numbers and not dollar numbers, honestly.
Would ticket numbers be skewed if you have like Movie Pass and you see the same movie like 2 or 3 times?
Well, you can't do that with Movie Pass.
The updated version you can.
That just happened, and I don't think so. I mean, people can still buy multiple tickets. I don't think it would skew the numbers that much.
So-
Because if that were the case, then the same could be said for money, right?
Well, isn't the whole thing with MoviePass is that you just use a card that MoviePass gave you to buy a ticket,
Yeah, but it tracks what ticket you're buying.
but the ticket's still bought, right? Like it'll still show that ticket as sold.
Sure.
For Jurassic World.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct, but it wouldn't be any different than someone going to watch the same movie twice. It'd be the same thing. If I wanted to do that, I could, and I would still affect the numbers.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see. That's what you're saying. Yep.
All right.
Have any of us seen this movie?
Nope, not going to.
Yes, you should watch it.
Next.
Alcon Media Group and Tidal Publishing will be making an in-canon Blade Runner comic book and graphic novel in the future.
Sorry, typo. It's Titan Publishing, not Title. My fault.
Alcon Media Group and Titan Publishing will be making an in-canon Blade Runner comic book and graphic novel in the future.
Okay. Anyone got anything to say about Blade Runner? We'll start with that.
No.
Did you guys watch Blade Runner 2048?
No, I've
I
never
haven't-
seen Blade Runner at all.
I haven't seen any
What?
of the Blade Runners. I want to watch the original Blade Runner, but it's not streaming anywhere.
You guys should watch it. It's lengthy. It's long.
2049 is on Hulu.
It's good. It's very long. It drags on quite a bit, but it's good. I mean, if I were a comic book reader, I'd be excited for this.
You know what else is good? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, but I mean, are they making comics about it?
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
don't
and
know
there's
anything
actually
about
a
it.
really big story.
Never heard about it.
thing.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Blade Runner. If I read comics, I would pick these up and read them.
Okay, what about if you read graphic novels?
I mean, I would do that too. I'm interested to see what more.
Next. Funko Pop recently announced it will be adding Pokemon to its long list of collectibles. They also just announced its first Pokemon Pop, Pikachu, will be a Target exclusive.
I really just want to buy one just to smash it and
Really don't
destroy
like-
it.
Now, is it that you don't like Pokemon or you don't like Pikachu?
I like Pikachu.
Okay, so
thought
you're
you-
fine with Let's Go Eevee.
What? No, I don't like the game. I still like Eevee.
Okay. Would you get the Eevee Funko?
I wouldn't buy it, but I wouldn't destroy it either.
So what he's saying is this is dumb that it's an exclusive to one place.
That is actually very surprising, considering Pikachu is the most popular Pokemon to have it be an exclusive place. That means Target paid some big bucks.
Yeah.
Also,
They do.
rest assured, though, that they'll have multiple Pikachus.
Very true. Surfer Pikachu.
Hat
Hat
Pikachu,
Pikachu.
There'll be dozens at some point.
female Libra Pikachu.
That's actually pretty cool.
Lucha Libre, you mean?
And I'm very happy that skin's in the new Smash Brothers.
She's a Libra.
She's a Libra as well.
So, yeah, that's good. That's good for Pikachu.
Make a Mewtwo Pokemon.
Next.
Oh, yeah. The new Dragon Ball Super movie, Broly, will be coming to North American theaters thanks to Funimation acquiring the theatrical rights. So I'm very surprised and shocked that this new movie they've been talking about is now a movie about Broly. Like, is this canon / not canon now?
So what I've heard is, to actually answer that question, is that this will be canon, and now Broly is canon.
So Broly is canon because of this, and everything else was just kind of non-canon filler issues.
Yeah, it was funsies, but because in this new kind of DBZ Super world, all the movies have just been story arcs of the show. This is the next one.
Well, I think this is a perfect setup because when they introduce Kale going Super Saiyan and she goes Berserk, she looks like Broly.
That's what I'm hearing.
So maybe there's a different type of Saiyan that descends from that. They don't know if that's the ultimate Saiyan, the ultimate form.
Next!
Oh, Johnny didn't get the top.
Nintendo announces 3 new amiibos in Ridley, Inkling, and Wolf.
Sorry, who? What? No. Nintendo announces 3 new amigos.
I said amiibos.
These
will release alongside Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on December 7th for $15.99. That is so wrong that they're $15.99.
Right?
It's what, $2 more than usual? No, sorry, $3 more.
It doesn't.
They were $12.99.
It doesn't matter. The point is that it's more.
But you're gonna buy them.
I understand.
will
Like
not.
Ridley could be more expensive because it's supposed to be a bigger amiibo. But
Maybe Wolf is also gonna have some cool.
it's not like it's gonna be
special
giant
effects around
depicted
them.
Pikachu.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for these. My collection is not complete now, which is
Right?
actually a good thing.
Nintendo's making more money off Smash Brothers and making more money off us. But yes, I will pick up all the other amiibos as well.
They gotcha.
So what do you think? You want these?
No, I won't buy any more. I'm done with the amiibo thing. I mean, just honestly, they weren't as useful as I expected them to be. Like
the
battling.
the Switch's life. Oh well, yeah, that aspect. Yeah, it's not. But the Switch's life cycle is nowhere near ended. So
It's not that. It's just that it's not useful in Smash Brothers.
No, it's not. But I'm still saying that they'll can possibly be used as outside of Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that doesn't concern me. I just wanted to battle them or like use them to battle against other people.
We could still do amiibo cockfighting.
They don't work. Like they don't get smarter. They don't fight better. Like a level 9 fights better than any amiibo.
Maybe you're a bad trainer.
Well, you
Damn.
bring an amiibo and let's see if you.
I
defeat
think
the
my
level
Samus amiibo is actually pretty good.
Bring it in.
My Samus amiibo against any of your amiibos.
No. Against level 9, I said.
Put your time in.
Level
Put
9.
time and make them better.
Level 9. Not my amiibo.
I just don't want them to make amiibos exclusive to retailers again.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't do that.
And
All right, well, that is the speedrun, guys. Hopefully you enjoy those quick segments and topics. All right, guys, it is time for Name the Game. 3 games, 2 competing hosts, and clues that lead to 1 correct answer. Use your wits, match the clues, and name the game.
Johnny, I'm worried.
We should be.
It's a last minute game.
Yeah,
Last minute lookup.
yeah.
well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe because I just grabbed whatever
It
I could
won't be.
find, and
It
maybe
won't
there's
be.
some easy ones. No, these are probably going to be difficult. Are you guys ready for
No.
Name the Game by Being Done, hosted by Garrett?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Close. First up, players battle it out by summoning creatures or casting spells.
Where are you going back to?
Yeah, pass.
I don't know. Final Fantasy 9.
Note, one of the first games that used augmented reality.
Eye of Judgment.
Eye of
There you go.
Judgment.
Nice job. Good pull.
That's a rare pull right there.
All right, so that is 1 for Joshua. Johnny not quite on the board yet, but don't give up. Next game.
Give that face right before you give the next question.
Futuristic racing game.
Extreme G.
No,
I mean, F-Zero.
no. Developed by Santa Monica Studios in 2001.
Been around for that long, huh?
News to me as well.
I don't know. Wipeout.
No.
Hydro Thunder.
No. This racing game doesn't actually use any vehicles.
Pass.
Oh, Rocket Robot on Wheels.
No. No.
Racing game for one person.
This is the first game to use the Kinetica engine, which would later be used for God of War and God of War 2.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Pass.
Yeah, no, pass.
Literally gave the answer.
Kinetica.
Kinetica!
Where'd you pull this one out of?
It's a PS2 game.
That was-
They had wheels on their feet, and then they held a wheel in their hand, and they went really fast, apparently.
That's weird.
I like how you gave the answer, not thinking you were trying to give another question to the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, one.
All right, 1-1. Johnny's in the game.
Johnny's not thrilled about it.
Now we got a game. All right, you guys got to be quick for this one. A music game unlike any other.
Wii Music.
No.
Yeah, I was worried. Dance Dance Revolution.
No. Yeah.
Rhythm Heaven.
Rhythm Heaven.
That didn't help me at all.
No,
You didn't play it, that's why.
I thought you... Did you play Rhythm Heaven?
I played Rhythm Heaven Fever.
Just the Wii one. You didn't play any other one.
There's only one other one. It was
There
on
is
the
only
DS.
one other one.
Did he play it?
No.
All right.
Beyonce did not get me to play that game.
Beyonce was playing that game?
She was in the commercial.
She was in the commercial.
All right, Johnny. That makes you the winner.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Name the game.
All right. Well, I'll see you in battle next week, Garrett. Joshua, enjoy making the game.
do enjoy in the guys.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys. It is getting close to the end of the show, and it is time for us to talk about what's going on with us outside the podcast and give each other
Stupid powers.
stupid superpowers for good or for bad. All right. Pretty busy week for me. My wife and my son, love them both, miss them both, are they're outside the state visiting family. So I've been having free week.
Home Alone.
Yeah, home alone, just eating bad, sleeping on the couch, waking up when I want, playing video games. It's like being a kid again. Got some cleaning to do.
That could wait till
No.
she's on her way back.
No, it cannot.
So sleeping on the couch only if you're in trouble.
Because I'm passing out playing games or watching Netflix. I'm playing Octopath Traveler. I'll leave a story for that for Joshua and his turn, but definitely enjoying playing that game. Also playing Hollow Knight. It's a really good platformer. I like it a lot, enjoying it. And I went to Six Flags today, actually. Had a great time. I got on a lot of rides. I got on pretty much every single ride of importance in the first hour and 30 minutes. And
Is
of course,
it not that busy?
for whatever reason, the first couple hours was not. I mean, you know how I do. Well, maybe you don't, Joshua.
Yeah, I
but
do. You in there like an hour early.
Yeah.
You power walk your ass through every single ride.
yeah, we go hard. We get there.
You
early.
go hard. You
And
drag everybody else with
Then
you.
don't come with me. You go.
I'm not complaining.
Okay.
I just know how you do.
It sounds like you're complaining.
Nah.
Anyway, we got there early. We were first ones in line. We got in the park. We got on X2, Tatsu, Superman, Lex Luthor's Drop of Doom, Goliath, Full Throttle in less than like an hour. And then we stopped and had lunch, got on Tatsu again, got on Full Throttle again, got on Green Lantern, got on Ninja, got on Goliath again, and then left at like 6. And
What
again,
happened?
this is after I took like an hour and a half break, like eating.
Which one's Full Throttle?
It's a new one you may not have seen yet if you haven't been there for a while.
Yeah.
Somewhere it
Nothing.
does the loop. Doesn't it like hang upside down for like a quick second just because like inertia and all that?
Slightly.
I think that was the newest ride I went on.
So no Batman, no Riddler, no Scream.
I went on Riddler. I apologize. I will never go on Scream again. I will never go on Viper again. After going on Riddler today, it has also made the list of rides I will never get on again. I will never get on Riddlers. And I'll give Batman one more chance. I didn't get a chance to get on it today, but those rides are rides that are getting too old and rickety, and they give you ping pong head. And that leads to headaches, and I'm not cool for that.
Okay.
I figured Riddler was, because it's a ball buster.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just don't go very high.
Shot.
But it was just, It's not smooth anymore like it used to be. So it's just rattling your head back and forth. I can't do it again.
We'll get you a pillow for next time.
No. I just will not get on it again. So that's all. It's made the list. They don't come off the list. So that was my week. Had a good time, still having a good time, and passing it to Garrett.
Okay.
All right. Garrett, you have the ability. I just thought of this because you touched your glasses like an anime nerd. You have the ability that whenever you wear a pair of glasses, you have just for the first time you put them on, some sort of beam. Now, every pair of glasses will be a different type of beam. Laser beam, ice
Optic
beam,
blast, ice beam,
hair beam,
I don't have anything for that.
poop beam.
Okay, I don't think there's any
Snot
Marvel
beam.
characters that do that.
They don't have to be.
Well, yeah, but for what I was doing.
Beam. Like, yeah. So now you just need to find different brands, maybe some of the more expensive stuff, Under Armour sunglasses or some from Sunglass Hut might have more power than something you get at Target, but who knows? So your goal is to just amass different glasses, and once per day you just put them on, and you'll have a one-shot laser or poop beam or pee beam or
Does
whatever.
the poop beam come out of my eyes or out of the glasses?
You got to find out how the power works, I guess.
No, I'm asking the question, much like Joshua was asking you a question, and or you
No.
Joshua a question.
It's a laser that emits from your eyes. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
You'll shoot out whatever beam represents those glasses.
I wonder what kind of beam you'll shoot out from the no lens glasses.
Like the hipster ones.
Yes.
Oh boy, that's a thing. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Thank
Shooting stars
thank
out
you.
of the star glasses. Create a meme out
Yeah.
of it.
You just have a case of sunglasses prepared for anything.
Sunbeam.
Yeah, I could be a superhero that way. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Let's see. Octopath Traveler, I dabbled in, not very much. Still getting used to my new routine and everything. Watched, yesterday was quite a movie day. I ended up watching some movies, some very different in theme. I started off with Jackie Brown, classic. I finding out for the first time that it's a Quentin Tarantino film. Did not know that, but was very good. Ended that night with Space Jam. Also a good movie.
Yeah,
just the fact that it, different parts of the spectrum there.
You're on a Space Jam high. You posted quite a few things about Space Jam.
Posted two. I posted two things about Space Jam.
Yeah, they have a new tin for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I was at Best Buy and there was a metal cover for it, and I'm like, it's 20th year edition.
Should have came with a water bottle that said Mike's secret stuff.
Mike's secret stuff. It was in you the whole time.
It seems like I have talked to my cousin about it. It seems like Space Jam 2 might be getting off the ground.
It might be doing a thing with
we'll
LeBron James.
So also a quick shout out to Caleb. Happy birthday. Cousin of mine. I enjoyed my time with you at Six Flags. Didn't actually say that in my moment, so I'm going to take a little bit of Garrett's moment and do that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing that on my birthday.
You're welcome. He's thanking you as well.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Garrett. Spoiler alert. I was going to wait till my turn, but okay.
That's thank you. That's a spoiler. No, you could have just used that as your spoiler. Still playing some Overwatch. Waiting for Hammond. I feel like he's going to drop soon, any second. He's still working on the PTR. Other than that, I'm going to try to get some more time in Octopath Traveler. And I'll be playing some more Overwatch. That's basically me. Overwatch, Octopath, and anything else that starts with a no, apparently.
Okay.
Joshua.
Yes.
It's going to be a rough one probably because I can't think of anything. So no, I think I did that one already.
I'll make sure you get my power next week, Joshua.
Thanks.
If I forget, you just say, Johnny, I get your power. So,
Right.
Yeah, poor guy.
I'm going to need some lube for this one. It sounds like it's going to be rough.
No, nothing like that. Got it. All right, Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's so much as an ability, just more of a sort of tick, something that happens. Whenever you, not that kind of tick. Whenever you play a video game And if that video game has like a like a company or some corporation or something like that, say maybe, I don't know,
Kaiba Corp.
That'll work. Shadowloo's another one. But whenever you play this game, as soon as you stop playing it, like you're done with your gaming session, you have this kind of complex that you are the leader of said corporation. So you can't get it out of your system. It's not a pretend thing. It's kind of like almost like a different personality kind of thing. You ever seen the movie Split?
No.
Neither have I.
But I know it's getting a sequel.
All right. Well, there's your power.
Yeah. So, are we a corporation? No, are we that
Getting
big yet?
there.
Are we that big yet? All right. So
But we're not in any video games yet.
So my week, I started Octopath yesterday, and at about 12 minutes in, I passed out. That's how tired I was. That's how late it was. I ended up picking up the Zelda 2DS XL Highline Edition. Just to put it on my shelf to let it sit there with all the other systems that I have.
Is that the Hylian Shields?
Yes.
One? Nice.
Yeah, it looks nice, and it's never going to be opened.
There you go.
Just put it on my Zelda collector's shelf. I played a lot of... I always forget the order. Android Assault?
Android Assault Cactus.
It is that one? That
Yes,
order?
sir.
Not Assault. Okay. It's a fun game. Have you picked it up? Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, I have picked it up, and it's free. So, of course, I picked it
Gears
up.
of Gold right now. Yeah.
Yep. I did play, and it is a fun little top-down shmup. I typically like the ones that are planes more, but this one's cool and fun. The mechanics are one mechanic in particular is a little wonky, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's more of a twin stick shooter than a shmup.
That's fair.
One thing that it's a 4-player co-op game, but there's no online co-op, so that's a bust.
Terrible decision.
Yeah, so you can't really experience the game unless you have that many people in front of you at the same time, and I haven't had to experience
That's
that.
kind of funny considering in episodes past, the complaint's kind of been the other way around, where it's like we've lost that couch co-op thing, and you know, a lot of you, particularly Johnny and Joshua, kind of both kind of miss that kind of feeling and everything.
Yeah, true, but it should give you options because at this point, I don't have anybody to play with, and you guys that I would normally play with have different schedules than I do. So it's not like I have a family of 4 I can play with like I used to when I was growing up.
It's not a problem to have cooperative gameplay online. It's a problem when it's only cooperative online. So there are games, much like Halo 5, where you cannot play split screen with other people in your home. You can only play cooperatively online. You should have both as an option at this point.
There you go. Okay.
So did that. That was a lot of fun. I watched Jurassic World. I recommend it. It's got a lot of dinosaurs, a lot of cool dinosaurs, some mean dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are
It's got
cool.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum
He's
is
in
also
it.
cool.
Yes. Chris Pratt's in it. He's cool. Yeah, I liked it. I think I like the first one better, but this
Like
one,
Jurassic Park?
yeah. Yep.
Or do you mean the actual Jurassic World?
Like Jurassic World 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I talked about it on the previous podcast, so I recommend checking that. Went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. My brother and I saw it for a whopping $2 total.
Nice.
Thank you, T-Mobile Tuesdays and the movie theater next to us that is really cheaply priced for new movies. Seats are pretty good. They're not
Nice.
bad. They're not dine-in theater style seats, but it's still really good. I like the movie. I give it about a 7, though. I thought it was a little underwhelming in some parts, but it's still a fun movie. You definitely got the jokes. Didn't you tell me that Paul Rudd co-wrote the movie? Or
I did not
co-directed?
tell you that.
You didn't tell me that?
I didn't tell you that.
Somebody told me that. Was you?
It wasn't me.
I think you're lying to me.
No, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Okay, someone told me. I recommend going and seeing it. There's 2 end credit scenes, one in the beginning of the credits, one at the end of the credits. Where you got a thinking face. Did you see the movie?
I'm trying. Oh, okay. Wait, no. I don't remember the second one.
Drums.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So I guess someone saw the movie. So go check it out. It's cool. It's fun.
Out of context spoilers.
It's a thing.
Yeah, that's what Infinity War was and all the memes. Out of context spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Mac.
Stop. So, how we doing on Avatar: The Last Airbender?
About that. I'll
You
let
can't
know.
ask questions about things.
I
he
sure
didn't-
as hell can when I gave him a challenge to watch one episode a week, and it's been 3 or 4 weeks.
Did he accept said challenge?
He sure as hell did.
Did you?
I think I nodded my head and I said I'll try.
Oh, that's not so much of an acceptance as a leave me alone.
But what will happen if next week I end up watching 4 episodes and I'm all caught up? Then what are you gonna say?
I want to know. I just want to know the progress of how is.
It's going good, man. It's going good.
Don't let him bully you into
I'm
watching something you don't want to watch.
I want to watch it just on my own time. Nothing,
That means-
nothing personal.
It means leave him alone.
I'm hardly doing anything. Like, I haven't watched Luke Cage yet. I'm trying to get on Luke Cage.
I'm not asking you to watch an hour episode. I'm asking you to watch a 22-minute episode.
we can argue about his lack of doing what you want off air. Let's get this thing going.
Johnny wants a stupid power. And it's a good one because Johnny Mac, every time you happen to fall, whether on accident, on purpose, somebody pushed you, right as you're about to hit the ground, you just have a bed of feathers that just poof, magically appears. So you never really hurt yourself falling on the ground.
What kind of feathers?
They're just feathers, dude.
Would
Would you rather fall on some pillow feathers or some pigeon feathers?
Can I choose the feathers?
No. No, you can't. Didn't I tell you I was going to give you a power that you cannot manipulate for your own good? You don't get to choose the feathers. Just this
Okay.
regular pillow feathers.
I can work with this.
Yeah. So once you land safely and you're good to go, you brush yourself off, feathers disappear.
Dang it, Joshua!
Not going to tickle someone to death to give over money or something. How are you going to use this?
Was
your
your
villainous ways?
Was your goal to make a power that I couldn't use?
No, I actually thought about this as soon as Gary gave me my power. I was like, I'm going to give Johnny a decent
I've
power.
already thought of 2 ways he could turn.
Yeah,
this
actually, I
evil.
just thought of a way I can use this pretty good.
Yeah, I don't see how, but okay.
So I can, like, rob places, like, secure places, jump out of the building, and just land safely. No one else can follow me. You can't catch me.
You still have to figure out how to get past the security.
That's fine. I'll figure that out. That's not
See,
a problem.
What I figured is you take a hostage, you put them like under you, and then you like fall on them, and then suffocate them with feathers until the ransom is paid.
No, my thing's better. All
I
right,
don't know if that will work. I think the person would hit splat on the ground, and then the split second before Johnny hits the ground, feathers go up in between the person that hit the ground and Johnny.
bloody gore-filled feathers.
Red feathers.
Cool.
It's a
Thank
new
you,
movie.
sir.
New movie Johnny's coming out with.
Appreciate it.
Starring Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
All right, guys. Well, that's our show for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed. Before we get out of here, we're going to ask you guys to do a couple of things. If you have time, we always appreciate it. Go ahead and give us a quick review wherever you're listening, guys, on Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening to your podcast, guys. Leave us a review, give us some stars. We'd appreciate it, guys. It goes a long way to helping us get more and more people who can find us. If you have friends and family, number 2, let them know, or coworkers, whoever, random stranger on the street who doesn't look threatening, let them know about the show. Let them, if you think they might enjoy it, give them a, hey, I got a show called the Super Co-op Squad. Maybe spell it out for them, help a little bit. We'd love for you guys to recommend us. And lastly, guys, we have our Patreon, patreon.com/Super Co-op Squad. To go there, you can become a patron of the show. Any amount that you give, whether one time or monthly or bi-monthly, whatever, goes towards helping us keep the show running, keeping the show getting better. And we appreciate that, guys. Other than that, if you want to chat with us, you can do so by email. That's at contact@scspodcast.net, or on Twitter @Super Co-op Squad, or on Facebook, facebook.com/Super Co-op Squad. And of course, if you want to chat with each of us individually, maybe you want to say, Johnny, you're doing an awesome job, you can reach me at JohnnyMac24.
You can reach me to tell me how Johnny's not doing a good job at GJL3275.
You can just say hi. I don't have any demands. Eternal Red Gamer.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, until next week, enjoy yourself. Hopefully you enjoyed today's podcast. And as always, I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Joshua.